Hey, how you doing? And happy Thanksgiving from me, the Real Manos, and my buddy here.
Deadpoolzilla, how is everyone? Did you enjoy us? Did you enjoy our hiatus? I hope not, because we really missed you.
Yes. We were really, we had quite a few weeks off from doing this, so it's good to have you back. And we are talking about the newest episode of Steven Universe. They are back with a new half-hour special episode called Gem Harvest. And, of course, it's another title that tricks a lot of fads into thinking it's something about Homeworld and all that stuff. You know, Steven Universe fans need to just get used to this. Because when crap hits the fan, it's going to be on a really ambiguous title that means nothing. Like Steven goes to get ice cream, and then half the cast dies. That's going to be that episode.
Or, you know, it's going to be called Steven's Lollipop, and it turns into Steven Universe Ultimatum.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be something like that. You know it's going to happen. But this episode is essentially their Thanksgiving episode. And he goes to visit Peridot and Lapis, and they're trying to grow a farm, because that's kind of what Peridot used to do, and it's not working because she has no idea how human vegetables work. And
I love this moment where Peridot's like, "Look at me, Steven, I'm on a tractor," and I thought to myself, there was a time where we took you as a serious threat.
I know. I have that moment every so often with Peridot, where it's like, this person was going to annihilate them in like her second or third episode.
Was quintessentially Shockwave for a while.
She was Shockwave, and now she's adorable, and it's hilarious. Let's see, as well as I've really enjoyed watching her relationship with Lapis, as they have become like roommates, and they're almost like a couple now. They have this now weird pumpkin dog that Steven creates, which is adorable.
I really like how in this episode, about when you brought that up, it is kind of an illusion when Peridot's like, "I just missed the pitter patter of little gems," and I'm like, oh, and it's clearly it's alluding to, you know, a couple, or, you know, same sex or otherwise, wanting to have a kid.
Yeah, very much so, and they end up getting a dog, and but in this case, it's like Steven kind of creates this pumpkin dog. And that doesn't turn out to be the episode. What literally Scoot flies in is Uncle Andy, or Cousin Andy. And he is voiced by Dave Willis, who you...
Carl.
Yeah, as Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And did you recognize the voice right away?
Oh, instantly. Like, there was a moment where he's like talking, because it's like the audio is so far away, because it's supposed to be like a far away shot, and I'm like,
yeah.
Is that? No! No!
I sat there through the whole episode like, I know this voice. Who is this? And I'm like, going back through my mind and my cartoon trivia going, who is this? Who is this? And yeah, thankfully Twitter answered it for me before I started looking it up, which almost always happens now.
It's even more hilarious because the voice actor for Greg was also in Aqua Teen as a monster called Willie Nelson.
And just to make a long story short, he is that kind of really loudmouth, angry, somewhat bigoted relative that you have to deal with during the holidays. And Steven is blown away by the fact that he has a human relative, and the fact that his name is not Universe, it's DeMeo. Although, to be honest, Steven's name is Universe. He was born with that name, so that is his name. But the family name is DeMeo, and he's really, really charmed by this, and he's really, attracted to this idea. So he instantly wants to become, friends and, closer with Andy, who Yeah, he's angry at a jerk, but he instantly like connects with Steven. And that's because we find out that he was kind of looking to connect with family again, because everybody had moved away and changed, and he stayed put. And that was it, and he kind of found himself alone.
Yeah. The big thing here is that now Steven knows, because he just thought it's just been him and his dad and the gems the whole time. But now he knows that there are other family members out there. For all we know, Greg's parents might still be alive. Steven might have grandparents out there.
They might. Who knows? I mean, he talks about other relatives. He talks about his Aunt Deb, and he talks about, a couple other relatives. So, like, there are other DeMeos out there. And I do wonder, like, it's been 20 years since Greg talked to any of them. So, is there a riff? Does he not get along with the DeMeo family? Are they all like... if they're all like Andy, I could probably see why he took off. And I absolutely love Dave Willis in this part. It's basically the same kind of character as Carl. But I love listening to him react to the weird gem stuff.
And he just takes it all in stride is the best part.
Yeah, well, what's so cool, because they kind of break him down, because he's very resistant. He's calling them alien Martian hippies. And after a while, what I love is that moment where the gems like decide to like celebrate everything at once. And Pearl has the best non-Andy line in the episode, is where she said, like, since you love marriage so much, we thought we'd marry each other. Which is a funny line, and kind of a line to the fans too.
Yeah, I love that line. It was like, it almost sounded like the cast and crew were like, hey, that ship you like that we're never going to do? Well, it's all canon now.
Everything is canon. And I love how that moment kind of like breaks him down. Like, okay, whatever, let's do it. And oh boy, Willis is really good in the role, because like it's a very similar part to Carl, but this gives him a chance to actually like act in a couple of moments, in a couple of scenes, like when he finds out that Rose is dead. And
I think my favorite line from him is at the end, where the pumpkin just throws up the little the little figurine. He's like, that's pretty gross.
I love it when it starts barking at him, and he says, "You got something for me, you freak of nature." That cracks me up every time I listen to it. Because he's being nice, but like he's being honest. Like that thing does not belong in society. So it's kind of fun listening to him. Like, and what I think is really interesting is, we get to see the human characters interact with the gem characters from time to time, but they live in Beach City and they're used to the gems, and they even like go, yeah, whatever, they do those things. Andy has never seen anything like this. He basically has kind of lived in our world in a way.
Yeah, that is a good point of like, because it does leave the question. Okay, Beach City knows about the gems and what they're all about. Does anyone else doesn't know them? I mean, again, why didn't the giant hand make any news?
That should have been all over the place. I do wonder. I have this feeling that what the gems did is kind of vaguely known. It may be even like, kind of like, think of what we know about, history from a few thousand years ago. With the pharaohs and the pyramids, for an example, and what we believe and what we don't believe may have happened. I mean, sometimes we don't even agree on what happens. I mean, I've heard occasionally a poll will pop up, and some people will not know if like King Arthur really existed or not, which isn't amazing. So it kind of, I feel like in that world of that show, it's kind of sort of ingrained in the culture, but they're not really too invested in it.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Pearl said. It's like everyone has these, what did she say? Like, humans have like these short lives, and they're all just I can't remember the whole thing.
Oh, about the conspiracy theories?
Yeah, that's what it kind of amounts to.
Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt that there are tons of conspiracy theories wrapped around the gems and the gem culture and the gem war, which is probably why Ronaldo jumped on that right after he threw away the lizard man idea. And which is, by the way, a real conspiracy theory, which is hilarious. And what do you think? Let me ask you what you think. Do you think going from here? I believe we're going to see Andy Moore in the show. What do you think his contribution to the show and the plotline will be? Because I don't think they spent a whole half hour introducing him, so that's not a one and done idea.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay in Beach City closer to Greg and Steven, because now he has family that he's close to now. And I think we're going to see him and Greg hang out more. Like, he's going to work at the... I just have this thing in my head where he's just going to go work at the Wash with Greg.
I'm not sure what kind of job he has. I guess we'll find out if he does or not. I wonder if he is going to be a temptation of sorts to Steven to abandon gem life. Because we've been seeing this tiny little piece of Steven kind of like regretting not being more human, or like he kind of feeling left out of the human race and feeling more alien when he's trying to fit in as best he can. I feel like this might be give him a temptation to kind of break away from it. What do you think?
And that could be the case, because like I said earlier, now even Steven knows I have family out there, and my dad never told me.
I know, like this poor kid. None of his parents tell him anything. They don't tell him about gem stuff. They don't tell him about family stuff. You still there? We may have lost him for a second.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
Okay, good. And let's see. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, so what were you? Let's see. Oh, you were reacting to something I was asking about the fact that. Yeah, I mean, he has family that he hasn't really known about until just now.
Yeah, and it does, like you said earlier, it does leave the impression of how bad did it get between Greg and his family that he wanted to leave and change his name and never tell his son about.
Yeah, never told his son, never wrote back to his family and said, hey, I have a son. Nothing. So, yeah, it does make me wonder, man, I wonder if there was, a huge rift. He wanted to be a musician, and they probably, really, clamped down on that, and he rejected them and took off. That would be my guess.
That could be the case. But yeah, that would be interesting to see down the road. But for right now, I'm just kind of cool with Andy just hanging out in Beach City now, because I want to see not only his reaction to the gems, I want to see how he just reacts to Beach City.
Yeah, and the citizens of Beach City reacted to him too. And also, he doesn't know really about the Gem War and how dangerous and important their work is. So I'm kind of curious about what we're going to be seeing in that. I wonder if he even will play a part, an important part in the story, or if he will be a distraction to Steven. So I'm really curious about where this is going. Or here's the thing, though: if the character just hangs around and says funny stuff about the gem and the gem aliens and the situations, I would be totally fine with that, because I just love this actor and I love listening to him just go on.
I just have this horrible feeling that later on down the road, when the homeworld gems do show up, I have this horrible feeling that Andy might go the route of Dan Turpin.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even think about that. Him being a sacrifice. Oh, wow. I don't know if the show would do that. That would be interesting. We'll see. I hadn't even considered that idea. Well, I think that's it. Is there anything else you have to say about this episode? Anything you want to sum up on?
It was all I have to say, it was a great episode. It's a nice Thanksgiving Day episode without being a Thanksgiving Day episode.
Yes.
And Peridot and Lapis are totally adorable together.
Yeah. This is a wonderful, take it easy kind of episode. It's really nice seeing the gems really interact, and you can't help but notice that, the crystal gems are on one side and Lapis and Peridot on the other, and sort of forming a union, and kind of shooting the breeze and talking and just having fun being together and relating to each other. And that was actually alone, even without Andy, that was fantastic. Because we haven't really seen these characters interact in this way.
And it is kind of clear that Garnet, when Garnet is giving orders to Peridot and Lapis, they're just oh, okay. Garnet is just the de facto leader for Peridot and Lapis now.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I absolutely laughed my head off when Andy looks at Garnet and just assumes that's Greg's wife. Because apparently, Greg's type has been big women for I guess all his life, so he naturally looked at her. It's oh, bet you're the mom. Oh man, that made me laugh. But I think that's it. I hope you have a good Thanksgiving coming up, Deadpool.
And same to you, Manos.
Yes. And I think I'd like to offer that to you folks out there. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving coming up. And we'll be talking more about new Steven Universe episodes as they come. I'm not sure if next week is a new episode or not. I know there's one in the first week of December, so we'll be back for that at the very least. And I will be back again for S.H.I.E.L.D. discussions, and Deadpool, well, he's got his own channel, so check him out. He's awesome. I think that's it, so anything else you want to say?
Nope, other than push the button